Hey everybody, Ryan here at Etrailer. Today on our 2022 Honda Pilot, we're going to be checking out the CURT Premium Hitch Mounted Bike Rack. First impression of the rack on the back of the Honda, I think it looks pretty good. Actually, it's really simple and easy to use, and this could be a great way to get a bunch of bikes to and from the trails. So this one can hold up to a total of 4, but if you need to carry an additional one, there's a 5-bike version of this rack available as well. So you got a couple of options there. So I talked about how simple it is. The way it's going to work is it's going to hold our bike down in 3 different spots. So we have 2 straps here along the top tube, and then a strap down here. And what that's going to do is help prevent the bike from swinging back and forth. That way, you know, they're not banging into each other as they're going down the road. That said though, I'm going to just pull our bike off so you can have a better look at it. So we'll remove our straps. Same thing with this one here. We can grab the bike and pull it off. It does make it somewhat nice too that it kind of comes in and gets more narrow. Makes it a little easier to get the bike off. But, you know, with these arms being a little more narrow, they're still going to be adequate to hold a full frame bike. But these are also going to be perfect for the smaller frame bikes, like a children's bike, for example. So a little more versatile than the majority of the other racks, similar in design. But that said, we'll go ahead and get this out of the way. So these cradles here where your bike's frame is going to sit, these are adjustable, which is pretty neat. So obviously there's 3 different sides, and they're all shaped a little bit different. And what that's going to do is really help accommodate a lot of different types of bikes. So chances are pretty good, no matter the style of frame you got or whatever. It's probably going to fit on here. And they give you a lot of anchor points as well. So, you know, with your straps, you can put them through like that, diagonally, whatever works the best for your particular setup. As far as the straps themselves go, really not too bad. These are nicer than most of them, but not the absolute best that I've seen. But, you know, I feel like they should hold up for quite some time, at least for the average person. You know, if you're out there using this every single day, they might wear out prematurely, but, you know, occasionally, I think you'll be in pretty good shape there. But with that said too, you know, not a bad idea when you're not using the rack just to kind of put these straps back in place. That way it keeps everything together. Something that you do need to think about is the fact that when you have the rack on the back of your Honda, it is going to extend the overall length of it. And to figure out exactly how much, measure from the hatch here to the very edge of the rack. Looks like it's going to add about 37 inches, so it'll take up a little bit of space, and keep that in mind when you're pulling into maybe a tight parking spot, or if you have a small garage, something like that. The arms do fold down though when you're not using the rack to free up some space. And in order to get that done, there's a pen and clip here. You can pop that out, swing the arms down, that pen and clip back in. And now it makes it pretty compact actually. I mean, it doesn't take up a ton of space. Looks like the furthest point sticking out is going to be down here. And from the bumper to it, it's only going to add about 12 inches to the back of your Pilot. So in this position, really shouldn't run into any issues at all, even if you do have a small garage or pull into that tight spot. I do want to address one of the big questions that we get asked quite a bit in regards to hitch mounted bike racks, and that's if you're able to still get into the back of your Honda with the rack on. And with this one, the answer is yes. If we come down here, there's a couple things we need to do. You have this T-handle, you turn that, loosen it up, and then you can pull out the pin and clip, and lift up on this handle. This will swing down out of the way and give us enough space to be able to get anything we might need in and out of the back of our Pilot. So moving down here, the rack is going to work with those 2-inch by 2-inch trailer hitch openings like we have here today on our Pilot. And it's also going to come included with an anti-rattle bolt. And what this is going to do is eliminate any slop or play there in the connection point. That way it won't clunk around and you won't hear it from inside when you're driving. So kind of give you an example of that, let's say if we're going down the road, hitting some bumps, you can see that the rack is going to move with our pilot and not on its own. But other than that, at the end of the day, rack you really can't go wrong with. You know, it's well built, easy to use, and especially if you have some kids, you know, having the smaller arms down there, you can always get their bikes on there too with some ease. And you know, I don't think it looks too bad on the back of the Honda either. If you're anything like me, you always want to see the product you're interested in actually working or in action. So why don't we go ahead, load up some bikes, take this out on the test course and see how it does. This is our test course. Let's start with the slalom. This shows side-to-side action, such as turning corners or evasive maneuvering. Then, onto our alternating speed bumps. This shows twisting action, such as hitting curbs, potholes, road debris, or even uneven pavement. Last of all, the solid speed bumps. This shows up and down action, such as driving through a parking lot or parking garage, or driving in and out of a driveway. And that'll finish up our look at of the CURT Premium Hitch Mounted Bike Rack on our 2022 Honda Pilot.